Claude surged past ChatGPT in downloads, even as the US government ordered federal agencies to stop using it. And OpenAI secured Pentagon access, Amazon's AI spending rattled markets, mobile leaders confronted with geopolitics, and China showcased embodied AI. The AI power map is shifting, and it's shifting extremely fast. Hey, I'm Niniola, and this is the Decode Tech and Money, which is your weekly briefing on power, capital, and policy. In this week, we trace how AI is reshaping government procurement, defense strategy, and capital markets, as well as global infrastructure. See, AI is no longer just a product cycle story. It is now about trust, control, geopolitics, and understandably leverage. And our first story kind of features how the US government has ordered federal ban against Anthropic. So let me get that loaded on here and we'll walk through it. So our first story is a turning point in how government and AI companies negotiate ethics and boundaries. So, what happened? So President Trump has directed all US federal agencies to stop using Anthropic's technology. So Anthropic are the creators of Claude and I believe Opus Engine. So the order came after Anthropic refused to remove usage restrictions on Claude for unrestricted Pentagon access. Officials have signaled a 6-month phase-out window, which will involve unwinding existing deployments across all federal systems. And I believe the Defense Secretary also designated Anthropic as a supply chain risk to national security. Now, in response to this, Anthropic's CEO kind of said the company, in essence, cannot, in good faith, concede to unrestricted military use of its technology. And to be fair, that's a fair enough stance, and it's quite difficult to understand what areas realistically that they were unable to agree on. Like, we do have the high level, but it's again super at this point in time. Here's my take on this, and here's how I see this. Right, this impact is a lot more larger than it seems, and it's larger on the wider industry. So this isn't just executive branch rhetoric; it's a turning point in how governments and AI firms negotiate ethical boundaries. From my stance, Claude's ban shows how federal agencies are now actively moderating in shaping AI models and how they're deployed and how they are accessed. So for AI developers and enterprise operators, ethical guardrails are in fact a strategic decision with real commercial circumstances. Holding fire on safety principles, may win trust amongst users, but not necessarily regulators. So it can also, terminate contracts, as we can see in this very instance. The difference between being successful and being significant is integrity, and integrity compounds. And in this instance, I think realistically, Anthropic did the right thing, and the standoff is quite clear between Anthropic and other competitors such as OpenAI. So the standoff cleared a path for a rival, and OpenAI has moved fast to fill in that gap, and that kind of leads us into our next story, which is OpenAI secures Pentagon pact to deploy on classified networks. I found this really good video which goes into a lot more detail into that.
It is the policy of the United States to sustain and enhance America's global AI dominance in defense of human flourishing, economic competitiveness, and national security. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the War Department's mission.
See, this is the part that really matters. This isn't just another capital raise. It's a strategic structural investment in the backbone of the AI economy, raising tens of billions in private credit ahead of an IPO. That physical infrastructure is the real battleground, and compute capacity and physical execution matters as much as algorithm right now. So money is a tool, not just a scoreboard. So my action for you, if you are in this kind of space, is to assess your infra partnerships and capital planning for any AI workloads and physical scalability that you're intending to implement in the future. So what we'll do is, I noticed the underlay in the videos haven't been catching up. So again, we're building this thing while we're flying. Okay, the next story that I have for you guys is the from infrastructure financing to the global stage where mobile leaders gather this week to confront what AI means for connectivity. So the mobile leaders grapple with AI shift at MWC 2026 in Barcelona. Senior leaders from major carriers and chip makers and tech firms focused on AI and geopolitics. This event is currently being run right now from the 2nd of March to the 5th under the theme of the IQ era, spotlighting how AI is redefining networks and devices. Discussions covered AI driven networks and pushing towards 6G edge AI integration and network monetization under significant pressure. And executives also negotiate geopolitical dimensions around the chip sourcing and strategic alignment between the various regions. I found this clip that I thought would be really good for us to kind of watch together.
Hi, I'm Kathy Hackel, Nokia's Futures in Residence, and I am in Barcelona for Mobile World Congress. I'm delighted to be joined by President and CEO of Nokia, Justin Hotard, to talk about the latest Mobile World Congress news from Nokia and some more. Hi, Justin, nice to see you.
Great to see you.
So you've had some really exciting announcements during the press event that we were just at. Can you explain how these latest advances in connectivity will come together to help enhance the...
I was just saying that I was playing it in ×2. Apologies, I've just changed it now, but yeah, that's tends to be how I watch my videos, so hopefully that didn't catch you guys off guard.
AI supercycle.
Yeah, look, AI is fundamentally the next workload. And if you look back, voice was a critical workload, then data, then video, it's now AI. And what we're talking about with all of these announcements is creating the technologies, the capabilities, and of course the partnerships across our ecosystem, including with our customers, to build AI native networks that will support this new workload.
And talking about that, AI is moving at such a fast speed so quickly, and we've got agentic web browsers and now physical AI emerging in our sidewalks. What does this require from the networks of the future?
Yeah, look, the networks need to also become AI native. It's not enough to just layer intelligence on top. And we're doing that today. And by the way, it's important because it provides greater efficiency, it gives us capabilities to start learning, but we actually have to build AI into the network. The network needs to be able to sense, to act, and we need an integrated dynamic allocation between compute, connectivity, and control.
So the last time you and I met was in Washington, D.C.
Okay, so if we kind of zoom out, right, here's what this tells us about where the industry is heading at a whole. The MWC 2026 showed us that connectivity is no longer just about speed, it's about intelligence and alignment. And leaders are positioning network and platform for an AI native future, right? That means enabled AI into everything, right? And when it comes to implementing this, I believe that success will come from the ecosystem, orchestration, and balancing, I suspect, partnerships, compliance, and other areas of being able to maintain competitiveness with their products. So my key action for you watching this is to evaluate how your AI and network strategies align with any geopolitical risks that may take place now or potentially in the future. So while mobile leaders plan for the future, one tech giant is already paying the price for betting big on AI today. And this brings us on to our next topic, which is Amazon. So Amazon's AI infrastructure spending spree has triggered a significant sharp stock sell-off, right? So Amazon has recently posted its worst monthly stock performance in years, and the cause was not weak results but massive AI spend. So Amazon shares plunged around 12% in January, which is the biggest monthly drop since late 2022. The sell-off comes after Amazon signals plans to boost capital expenditure to roughly $200 billion in 2026. That spending is earmarked for AI data centers, custom chips, cloud expansions, and robotics, far above expectations. And what in essence has happened is analysts have warned that free cash flow could turn negative, a rare outcome for a company of Amazon's scales. And being extremely transparent, I think the sharp decline for me as an investor was kind of a buying opportunity because I have a lot of confidence and a lot of faith that they're investing in the right things. So this is not investment advice, but obviously if you see a 12% decrease in one of top organizations' shares, that to me signals a huge discount. But that's neither here nor there. Here's my take on how this affects strategy, talent, and competition advantages across the sectors. Amazon's plunge is tied less to weak fundamentals and more to its massive AI expenditure plans going forward. The market now clearer pathways to profit. Even ironic companies like Amazon face valuation pressure without having a clear visible return on investment. So wealth is a tool to steward wisely, right? And investing in AI can secure significant advantages, but capital discipline still matters, right? My action for you, I was just going over this article, is to revisit your AI spending plans with your finance teams and ensure that you have clarity on what's been invested and what you believe is the potential return on investment, whether it's in time efficiencies or in reduction of staff because you're leveraging specific AI agents. So yeah, that's my advice there. So we're going to go from how the market is judging AI spend to how China is building AI into the physical world, which is our final story as we kind of head out and close things out. So China's Honor showcases the humanoid robot and AI phone demo. The Chinese phone maker Honor used the MWC 2026 stage to unveil a humanoid robot alongside an AI phone concept. Honor showcased its AI handset, interacting and controlling the humanoid robot in real time. Executives have framed the demo as part of AI's first product strategy, moving beyond traditional smartphone features. For me, this demonstrates Honor's effort to redefine its brand after separating from Hawaii in a few recent years. And what I'll do is I'll just play this video which goes over the demonstration and actually goes over the actual product in itself.
We hope it brings a lot of fun and become a reliable companion for all of you. We look forward to bringing to you in the second.
Of course, I can.
We hope it brings a lot of fun and become a reliable companion for all of you. We look forward to bringing to you in the second half of this year. It is not just a hardware evolution, but a revolution between human and machine. Technology changes how we work, but it can never replace our purpose and the.
So Honor's humanoid demo is not just a theater. It was a signal about where devices are heading to as a category. As smartphones are evolving from the common features, smartphones are evolving from comms devices into AI orchestrated hubs. And that changes the competitive landscape. As China accelerates AI hardware, global competition intensifies, not just in software, but in physical AI. And whereas in comparison, we see this form of advancement, right? We also compare that with the likes of Apple and what they've currently planned to release. And you can kind of see the stark difference there in terms of innovation. So I guess my action for you guys this month, right, of this video moving forward, evaluate existing AI strategy and how it connects across devices, across platforms, and across physical systems. Think very much how Apple's orchestrated their existing ecosystem, right, and see if what you're developing and what you're building can leverage those form of hardware and give your end user that end-to-end experience. So again, as we sign off in today's show this week, it's been about incremental updates. It's been about power shifts. We've touched on things around the US government, enforcement of AI policy, open AI embedding itself into defense, Apple refining its hardware cadence, not necessarily its product, and infrastructure financing at scale. We touched on the story in Australia where I believe that Thermos has raised about $10 billion. We also touched on capital scrutiny. So AI is no longer just about innovation, right? It's about control, it's about trust, it's about geopolitics, it's about leverage. If this added any value to you, please hit the subscribe button so you make sure you don't miss another episode. And if this resonates, please like and share with someone who needs to stay informed and stay updated. I'm Niniola, and this has been Decode of Tech and Money, and I'll see you on the next one.